Michigan State University continues to face questions over its handling of Dr. Larry Nassar's systemic abuse of underage girls during his time there. The Lansing State Journal reports the university paid a PR firm some $500,000 to monitor the social media accounts of Nassar's victims, their families and journalists as well. Riley Murdoch has been covering this story for Michigan State's The State News, and he joins us now via webcam from East Lansing. Riley, how extensive was this monitoring of social media?
From what I can tell, it looked like they just checked what was trending in regards to the Larry Nassar case on a daily basis. Basically, whoever was talking about the daily issues most extensively got listed out. Sometimes journalists, sometimes survivors, based on what they were talking about the case. It doesn't seem like, from my perspective, I don't know all the details as to how they decided to look at things, what methods they used, but it looks like anybody who was driving traffic on social media got swept into it. I'm not sure if they specifically intended to look at certain people, but I don't really know that.
Now, we know that you spoke with Rachel Den Hollander, the first woman to publicly accuse Nassar. How is she feeling at this time?
Rachel Den Hollander, and from any other survivors I've spoken to and their attorneys, most survivors seem to be very upset with the university right now, both in terms of the news of the social media monitoring and as well as the charges against Dean Strample, former Dean Strample. Den Hollander in particular, I'm not sure if I can speak for her, but she seemed like she was not surprised, but at the same time, she expected this to be sort of a systemic issue in regards to Dean Strample. The survivors have been calling for some kind of accountability for a very long time. They wanted this to happen a lot earlier, but they say it's a positive step.
Now, we mentioned earlier that Larry Nassar's former boss, Dr. William Strample, was charged with criminal sexual misconduct involving medical school students. I'm just wondering if that came as a surprise, or was the sense there that this was expected?
Like I said before, the survivors had some inkling, either through rumors or Strample's defense of Larry Nassar, at least publicly, was documented for a while. He has been very defensive of Nassar, both after investigations, and it was known that for a while that he did not enforce the own protocols that he set out for Nassar following that investigation for a while. That's been known. What was not known was any allegations of sexual misconduct, at least in the public eye. I've heard one survivor tell me that there were rumors that he would harass people for a while, but from what I can tell, nobody knew concretely that he had sexually harassed people or abused his position in that way in the public eye. But some survivors told me that it didn't exactly come as a surprise to them, because they considered that the issues that led to Nassar being able to operate for so long were systemic in a way that someone like Strample would have to enable.
The hashtag MSU Shame on You is trending and has been trending online for a while now. What is the sense on campus from students? Are they confident even now that the current administration is taking the appropriate action in protecting them?
I wouldn't be able to speak for the entirety of the student body at MSU, but from what I can tell about the survivors, I don't feel like they're very confident in what the administration is doing right now. They don't feel very listened to. From what I asked Rachel Den Hollander the other day if anyone had reached out to her or tried to contact her for any dialogue in regards to how she feels about the situation, how she felt it could have been handled better, and she told me that no one at the university has reached out to her since the Nassar trial or in general. So I guess they feel like they're still not being listened to.
All right, Riley Murdoch with the State News there in Michigan State. Thanks for speaking with us, and we apologize
Thank you very much for having me.
For some of those technical glitches.